What's happening, family? It's Cast Sports again. Back for another afternoon with my people. Now, as usual, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. Just boxing talk. We're a group of people that just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast, a channel, or anything like that. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. Excuse me. That's all. Boxing Hub. Al Booger. The Boxing Menu Podcast. Top of the afternoon. Salute. And all that good stuff. Welcome to another episode of Cast Sports, the History Channel. And this is the Thursday afternoon edition. How was everybody this afternoon? Hope your day is rolling along smoothly. Hope I can add a little small part to it, make it a little bit better these next couple 2 hours. I know it's going to be better for me being in here with y'all for a couple hours. I'm starting to look forward to 2 o'clock every day. Coming up on that weekend, full speed ahead. Almost there. We got the women this weekend. Natasha Jonas, Michaela Mayer for Natasha's belt. NFL playoffs resumes into the divisional round now. But 16s went home last weekend. 8 left to go, including my Ravens. They played Saturday, hosting the Texans. Because you got to come through here if you're in the AFC. You want to get to that Super Bowl? You got to come through Baltimore to do it, okay? We had Pro Box last night. We're going to get into that in a minute. Let's go over that briefly. The profile for today is the Bob father, Bob Arum. We're going to look at his life and career in boxing. Of course, his career in boxing is still going on. Still going strong. The Bob father. Still going strong at 92 years young. As a matter of fact. Excuse me, trying to clear my throat up. Then we're going to look at what division are we at today? You know, we've been looking at the history of the weight divisions, taking one each day. Started at heavyweight, worked my way back. I think we're at junior flyweight, which is 108. I always say no grown man should weigh 108 pounds. Wow, I think my 7-year-old granddaughter weighs 108. But I guess, somebody got to be the jockeys, ride the horses and fight in them lower weight classes. It's mostly Latin Americans, Asians. You don't see too many Americans down there, I can't think of any. The lowest I can think is we got, I think one of the Russells at 118, if I'm not mistaken. Gary Antoine. I think. Antonio. I think his name is Antonio. I think he's at 118, but I can't think of many Americans, Black Americans, white Americans, any kind of American down there low. Now, probably some of there might be some Mexican Americans or something down there, but Asians, Latin Americans, when you start getting down that low. Yeah, so we're going to look at junior flyweight today. I was arguing with a co-worker today. Knowledgeable guy about boxing. At least I thought he was. And we got a bet. He tried to tell me that Kambosos is going to beat Loma. Man, Kambosos might not even win the round. People sleeping on Lomachenko. I'm telling you, at lightweight, I got Tank, I got Shakur, then I got Loma. Okay, number 3 on the totem pole down there at 135 for me. Loma can beat any of those young guys, man. Keyshawn, Kid Austin, who else? Frank, Martin. I pick Loma over any of those guys. Where's Rayo? Isn't Rayo at 135 now? Yeah. Now, Muratala, he would give Loma some problems. I would give him the closest chance other than Tank and Shakur. I would have that like, not 50-50, but 55-45, nah, like 57-43, maybe low 60-40, somewhere around in there. Loma, yeah. Loma's a crafty veteran, man. Whatever he's lost in speed or, the physical aspects of the way he's got it upstairs, man, And Kambosos don't have a snowball's chance in hell of beating Loma. No. And that's for the IBF. Well, that was supposed to be an undisputed fight. It wasn't supposed to be Devin. You remember back, what was it, 2022, when Devin went over there? That was supposed to be Loma. But remember, he went to the war. Or wherever he went to. Yeah. And, I usually don't bet on boxing, but I bet on this fight. Because, you bet a whole bunch of money on this sport, and then they do some shady stuff, like the judges or these bogus stoppages they've been having. You'll be mad, and you should have won. But Loma, they're not gonna cheat Loma. The Barfather ain't going for that. They cheat Loma. The Barfather might kill somebody. So I put some money on Loma against Kambosos. Yeah, I think that's like a sure thing. What's up, Mike Mazik in the building? Mike Mazik, loyal supporter there of the entire JBT movement. Salute, Mike. Welcome to another episode of Cast Sports, the History Channel. The Barfather is the profile today, Mike. Yeah. And like I was telling the other guys, the Barfather's career is still going on, still going strong. Al Booker was telling me that his stepson is the president of Top Rank, and maybe he's planning on taking over, but shoot, Barfather might outlast him. You know what I'm saying? Bob is 92, going strong. Mike Ryan, what's up, Mike? Mike Ryan in the building. All my people coming in. There's Remo, hashtag JBT in the building. I know y'all done checked out that hashtag Let's Talk Fashion by now. If you haven't, you must be crazy or something. Told y'all about that wig yesterday. That is fire. And Remo is dropping one every Wednesday. Soon he's gonna be going live. Remo say he ain't doing no live. Can't handle no trolls or nothing. I had one the other day, the Looney Tunes. Come up here asking me what was my favorite Looney Tune. I should have told him. And it looked like a little kid. I asked him to turn his camera on for real quick, just for a second so I could see him. And he switched it on and off. It looked like a little child. That's what I say, man. People are in these YouTube streets arguing back and forth with somebody, threatening to kill them. You might be talking to a 12-year-old kid or something, man. That's why don't go back and forth with him. I just gave him the hook, shot him down, and that was it, though. Oh, thank you, Remo. Where is it in my email? Okay, gotcha. Appreciate it, Remo. I need a little update. We're gonna get into this Pro Box in a minute. That Remo is all right, man. Al Booker, how you like my title there? Al Booker came up with the idea of the title. And anybody, man, this is our channel, and if you have any kind of ideas or something that would make the channel better, please don't hesitate to tell me. Because Al Booker is a witness. Anything I think will make it better, I will put it in right away. He just told me about the title yesterday, and I started it today, which was an excellent idea. We can make it better together. Anything you can make this channel better and more successful for us, any kind of idea, please don't hesitate to tell me. I'm not going to curse you out and say, mind your damn business, damn it. No. I would love the input, man. This is our channel. We got to make it better together. That's the only way we're going to make it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, those are all small letters, lowercase, Remo, the name. Okay, it's all good. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm gonna incorporate that in right after the show is over. It'll be up there tomorrow. Yeah, because that is kind of plain there, that CAS. Yeah, I appreciate it, Remo. We're gonna look at the Pro Box from last night. Then we're gonna do the profile on the Bob Father. Then we're gonna look at the junior flyweight division and whatever else we come up with in here today. It's another episode of Cast Sports, the History Channel. I try to wait till like 2:30. Whoever's ate in here by then, well, then they're just gonna miss it. That's all. I can't wait to see this logo. But how is everybody this afternoon? It's Thursday. A day and a wake up until the weekend. Then we got the women Saturday fighting. We got a fight, I think, next Tuesday from Japan. You know how they do it. Japan is thank you, Remo. Japan is their big, like ours is Saturday. I asked the guy one time why the monster always fight on Tuesday, and he said Japan is their big fight night. Like ours is Saturday, it's just Tuesday for whatever reason, And we got a fight coming up Tuesday. Only thing, they 6 o'clock in the morning, man. The last monster fight was what, 3:30? That's crazy, man. Yeah. The last monster fight was 3:30 in the morning. Okay. That is sent. Now, instead of doing my show, I'm looking at this logo. Nah, but I can do 2 things at once, I think. Yeah, this JBT is starting to get noticed around the YouTube streets now, too. Somebody was saying in the hangout earlier that KQKC was mentioning something about the JBT earlier today. Or it might have been yesterday in the show. Yeah, but they was talking about it in the hangout this morning. So, yeah. People are getting curious, That's what happened when we get all these people wearing that hashtag JBT behind their name, Gets us noticed. People will see it like in an upcoming or something and, click on. Then it's up to us to make them hang around once they come in, Yeah. But it's a growing thing. We're supposed to have a meeting on Saturday. But it's up to Jay Hardcore. I'm sure he'll let us know between today and tomorrow. Excuse me for 1 minute, please. 2 minutes. Okay. All right. Let's get ready to take a look at the Pro Box from last night real quick. Just a quick look. Then we're going to get into the Bob Father. Oh, shoot. What am I doing? Oh, I was trying to go into my email. But everybody's day going okay? Mine is going along smoothly now that I'm in here. Talking to my peoples. Just boxing. Whatever else we get into. All this snow still hanging around. It's been so cold, the stuff won't melt, man. At least we ain't up there in Buffalo where D1 is. He said they got 7 feet. Wow. That's crazy. 7 feet of snow. We're supposed to get some more here tomorrow. Yep. More snow. And there was 3 fights on the Pro Box card. It was supposed to be 4, but I don't know what happened to the other one. They only had 3 on the televised version. Of course, they have some local fighters always in the preliminary stages of it. Okay, let's get started. I was doing something else. Pro Box. Yeah, but the guy bet me on Cambosos. So I think that's a sure thing. Don't have to worry about the cheating because Bob ain't gonna let him cheat Cambosos. No way. Got my new title win thanks to Al Booger. Remoto hooked up a logo for me. Cat Sports is moving up in the world. BN Boxing News in the building. Here we go. My people coming on up in here. What's up, BN Boxing News? Salute. Yeah, we know you in here, BN Boxing News. I knew you was going to be here. Get ready to take a quick look at the Pro Box from last night. Some good up-and-coming fighters. Then we're going to look at the Bob Father. Then we're going to look at the junior flyweight division, 108 pounds. Then I think we got what's below that is strawweight, 105. I think my 7-year-old granddaughter weighs about that, 105. Yep, them guys are like 4'9", 4'8". All right. Now we had 3 fights on the televised version. That's all I saw was 3. They had 4 listed, but in the first fight, Mike Quan Williams, he dropped Louis Feliciano 3 times. Okay. And he ended up winning a dominant. He got a dominant win. Stopped him in the 6th. That was the best performance of Williams' career. Okay. His right hand was on target all night and very effective. He knocked Feliciano down twice in the second round, right? And had him in trouble in the fourth. Another right hand, of course. It looked like he got another knockdown, but the referee ruled it a slip, okay? But then Feliciano, he kept recovering and coming back to his credit. In the sixth round, Feliciano was doing pretty good. And all of a sudden, he just ran straight into another right hand. Went down again, but he got up. He was real wobbly. His eyes was all glassy. The referee took one look and waved it off. And so Williams goes to 20-0. Okay. And that was his ninth knockout. Feliciano, that was his first loss. Because there was 3 undefeated fights on the card. So Feliciano dropped to 17-1. He's got 8 knockouts. Now, the fight before that, man, it was like, that decision was crazy. Very questionable, man. They gave it to Rojas over Christian Baez. And Rojas was real tall, but he wasn't able to do nothing with his height advantage. And all he did was clinch throughout the whole fight. And Baez seemed to, they both had power, but Baez wasn't worrying about Rojas' power. He was doing most of the work. And I clearly thought Baez won the fight, but the judges not only gave it to Rojas, they gave it to him. They only gave one of them gave Baez 2 rounds, and 2 of them only gave 1 round. It was 98-92, 99-91 twice, man. And they started booing and chanting bullshit. But anyway, Rojas went to 13-0. He didn't deserve it. Baez dropped to 19-4 with 17 knockouts. Then in the last fight, Jacob Gomez were very impressive. Very impressive. Dropped this man, Ezekiel Barrero in the first round. And then in the second, but he didn't get credit for it again. In the second round. Referee didn't call it a knockdown again. I don't know what's up with these referees, man. I don't know what's up with them. You get hit, any part of your body touched the mat, that's a knockdown. I seen 2 of them last night that they ruled slips. It's crazy. But they need to start a new referee school or something because need some very questionable calls from referees here of late. But anyway, yeah, but Barrero, you could tell it's levels to this, and Gomez was levels above Ezekiel, right? Barrero didn't have the defense to keep up, because Gomez was just catching him in the head over and over, and looked like Barrero didn't even see the punches coming, man. And then we got to the the 5th round. Gomez had him in deep trouble on the ropes, and Barrero didn't even know where he was at. The referee stepped in and stopped it. And both of them, all 3 fights were undefeated fights. The one that they didn't have was the only one. No. This was 2 of the 3 was undefeated. The second one of the guys wasn't. But anyway, Gomez goes to 9-0, 6 knockouts. And Ezekiel, that was his first loss, 6-1. He has 2 knockouts. So Pro Box. Yeah, Aunt McQueen put me down with Pro Box about 2 months ago, and I've been hooked ever since. It's boxing in the middle of the week, and it ain't bad, you know. These guys aren't signed to none of those big promotional companies, so they're free to do whatever they want to, you know. And it's always in Plant City, Florida. It's called the Pro Box Event Center. I don't even know what part of Florida that is, Plant City. Okay, now let's get ready to take a look at the Bob Arum. I'm gonna drop the link later on today too. I haven't dropped it lately. I mean, I dropped it yesterday, but it was like me and Al Booker cooked for like 5 minutes. Al Booker, I didn't even know he was down there for a minute there. What's up, D for the win? Yeah, that Pro Box last night. It was 3 fights. Yeah, that's the one that come on every Wednesday, every other Wednesday. Yeah, I've been watching it for a couple months. Ann McQueen put me down with it. It ain't bad. The last one before the holidays, we had Bomac had 2 fighters on there. He had Keyshawn Davis's little brother Calvin, and he had another fighter. So it's boxing in the middle of the week, you know. Young guys, they're not signed to none of the big promotional companies, you know. Sort of like a minor league thing. You know how the baseball had the minor leagues and those guys are trying to make it. So these guys really get there and mix it up because they like trying to get noticed, you know. So they give it their all, man. Yeah. And 2 knockouts. And the fight that went the distance was BS, man. The referee really, I don't know what, I mean, the judges, I don't know what they was looking at. The guy I thought won the fight, they only gave him 2 rounds. One gave him 2 rounds, and the other 2 gave him 1 round. The people were booing and chanting bullshit when it ended. That was crazy, man. Those judges need to be fired and never judge another fight. I mean, they got it wrong, but I mean, the scores were just ridiculous, man. I think it was a 10-rounder. Yeah, it was 10 rounds. Yeah. And everybody thought this guy had won the fight. The one judge gave him 2 rounds, and the other judge gave him 1. That was ridiculous, man. Yeah, these judges and referees, man, something needs to be done. And if they was cheating, they didn't know how to cheat. They could have made it closer than that. Wow. Just ridiculous. But we're going to talk about the Bob father today. Bob Arum himself. I haven't decided on tomorrow yet. Yeah. It'll be a surprise. But it's going to be some kind of historic figure. Or he might have just been in boxing for a while. Because I was doing former fighters, but it's a lot more going. The fighters are the most important part of it. That's what we want to see, but it's a lot more that goes into a boxing match than just 2 guys getting in the ring throwing hands, you know. You know, you got the promoters, the sanctioning bodies, the referees, judges. So I decided to do profiles on other parts of the sport, you know, not just fighters. Right, and so that's what the next couple of weeks going to be about, you know, promoters. I did a history on the sanctioning bodies before, but I'll come up with something good. I promise. But is everybody's day going along good? We're going to stay in here a couple hours and talk this boxing thing out. Hope that make your day a little bit better. It definitely makes mine a little better every day. Being in here with my people. Yep. On our channel. Cash Sports History Channel from the JBT, part of that fire lineup. Let's get started on the Bob father, Bob Arum, and he's not finished. Still going strong in the sport. 92 years young. He does have a stepson that's the president of Top Rank, so, but he might just stay president because Bob doesn't look like he going nowhere no time soon. Like I was saying, Bob might outlive him. Have to take over president as part of his duties. All right, Bob Arum. Robert Arum. He was born December 8th, 1931. Yep, he'll be 93 years old. Okay, now he's an American lawyer and boxing promoter. Founder and CEO of Top Rank, a professional boxing promotional company based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, before he became a boxing promoter, he was employed as an attorney in the tax division of the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. Okay, tax attorney. Didn't know that. Knew he was an attorney. He has a BA from New York University and JD from Harvard Law School. like I said, occupation, lawyer, boxing promoter, and businessman. Yeah, D40, when that was just pro box. He comes on every other Wednesday. You know, young guys trying to make it. And Bob Arum has been active from 1980. Of course, still presently active. He married Lovey DuBois in 1991. 3 children. Bob's father has 3 children. Now, the guy that president of the top rank is his stepson. It's that's his wife's boy. His name is, what is it, Albert or Joel DuBois? I think it was Joel. I wrote it down somewhere, but it's in here. Let's take a look at the Bob father's background and early life. Okay? Let me turn this down a little bit. Background and early life for Bob Arum. We did the Don yesterday. Don King. And the Bob father today. Both of them 92 years old. Both still going strong in boxing. I always thought the Bob father was a little older than Don King. I thought the Bob father was like 95, but yeah, Al Booker told me yesterday. They both 92. Don King is a couple months older. I think Don King is August or September. And the Bob Arum is December. Okay. Background and early life. Excuse me, one second, please. Anybody's team still alive in the playoffs? Because we got the second playoff resuming with the divisional round Saturday. My team starts playing the Ravens. We got the Texans. Only team I'm worrying about is Buffalo. Because that Josh Allen is a bad boy, man. He can put that team on his back and carry them through the playoffs. So, And then we get past the Texans, we play Kansas City or Buffalo. Okay. Background and early life, Bob Arum. He was born in New York City. Grew up in the Crown Heights section of New York. With an Orthodox Jewish background. Okay. He attended Erasmus, I think that's how you pronounce it, Erasmus Hall High School. Attended New York University. And then the Harvard Law School. Okay. And with some fellow students, we call the snitty guys from the prep schools and the eating clubs, where he graduated from Harvard. Then he worked as an attorney in the United States Department of Justice during the Kennedy administration. Wow, that was way back there. Early 60s. Yeah. He was in the Department of Justice during the Kennedy administration. Okay. And he had little interest in boxing until 1965. Now, following the 1963 assassination of John F. Kennedy and his Justice Department service under Robert F. Kennedy, Bob Arum joined Wall Street, a firm called Phillips, Nizer, Benjamin, Krim, and Ballin, where he researched Kennedy's assassination for senior partner Louis Nizer. And this guy Nizer, he was the author of the foreword to the Warren Commission report. That's the report that investigated the assassination of John F. Kennedy. So Bob Arum worked for the guy that wrote the foreword to that report. Wow, that's big. No, y'all heard of the Warren Commission. Oh, wow. I did not know that. Bob Arum worked for the guy that wrote the foreword to that. Wow. Now, following a 1963 suicide of Washington Heights Savings and Loan Association President Floyd Kramer, hours after he had been his indictment for being the mastermind of a mortgage tax evasion scheme, Arum recalled, "I knew then that I wasn't cut out to be a prosecutor." Arum continued to practice civil law until dissolving his office in 1979. So he was a promoter and a lawyer up until 1979. Okay. So then he moves into the promotional field. In 1962, he was assigned by the Department of Justice to confiscate proceeds from the September 25th, 1962 Sonny Liston versus Floyd Patterson fight, during which he met closed circuit television pioneer and former. He met Lester M. Mallitz. Okay. Mallitz was the promoter of the 1965 Ernie Terrell George Trufalo belt, and he retained Arum to represent him. Okay. In 1966, subsequent to a suggestion by Jim Brown, whom Arum had secured for Mallitz as the fight's announcer, Arum became a boxing promoter. Okay, 1965. So he worked for this guy, Lester Mallitz, when he was promoting the fight between Sonny Liston and Floyd Patterson. So that was his first involvement in boxing. Okay. Then in 1965, Mallitz was promoting the Ernie Terrell George Trufalo fight. He hired Bob Arum to represent him. Then in 1966, subsequent to a suggestion from Jim Brown, the football player, who was announcing the fight between Trufalo and Terrell, that's when Bob Arum became a boxing promoter. Now in 2016, Jim Brown recalled that Arum had seen a television fight in 1965 as the first fight he ever saw. And he watched that fight from a television truck. Bob Arum credits Jim Brown with introducing him to Muhammad Ali. And he credits Ali with teaching him how to be a boxing promoter. Now, Ali had a promotional company, and Arum became a vice president and secretary of it. Jim Brown owned 10% of that company and served as a vice president also, in charge of publicity. Now, during the 1980s, Arum became a driving force behind the sport, rivaling Don King. Okay, 1980s, him and Don King, pretty much the top dogs as far as reporting, big rivals. Bob Arum organized super fights between Marvin Hagler versus Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler versus Thomas Hearns. Hagler, John Mugabe. Hearns, James Schuler. After the Hearns-Schuler fight, Schuler, who had lost by knockout in the first round, showed up at Arum's hotel room to thank him for the opportunity to fight Hearns. 10 days after that fight, Schuler died in a motorcycle accident. Wow. Now, Arum kept producing big-scale undercards and super fights, including the Hagler-Sugar Ray Leonard fight. Yeah, Bob Arum did that one. He did Sugar Ray Leonard versus Thomas Hearns 2, Holyfield versus George Foreman, and many others. Some of the stars that he promoted from the 90s include former world flyweight champion Michael Carvajal, 6th Division World Champion Oscar De La Hoya, 8th Division World Champion Manny Pacquiao, and 3 Division World Champion Eric Morales. He also promoted legendary champion Julio Cesar Chavez in his later years of boxing, because earlier I know Don King promoted Chavez. Yeah. So later on, he switched from Don King to Bob. Don probably cheated him too. Don King cheated everybody and got sued by everybody. Bob Arum has concentrated largely on promoting Hispanic fighters in recent years, citing surveys which show boxing is among the most popular sports within the Hispanic community. And he has concentrated many of his shows in the southwestern portion of the United States, in cities with large Spanish-speaking populations. He is also the promoter of many of the cards on Telefutura, a Spanish-language network. Okay? He has had great success with Puerto Rican Miguel Cotto, who won world titles at 140, 147, 154, and 160. Mexican-American Antonio Margarita, who had a 147-pound WBO belt from 2002 to 2007. Mexican-American Jose Ramirez, the former WBC and WBO light welterweight world champion. Honduran American Teofimo Lopez, the former lightweight world champion, and Mexican Oscar Valdez, the former WBC super featherweight world champion. Some of the Latino fighters that he's promoted, because he says he primarily focuses on some of the Hispanic. He says he primarily focuses on the Hispanic community. Okay. Because boxing is among the most popular sports within the Hispanic community. And baseball, you know. A lot of Hispanics excel at baseball. Matter of fact, they're taking it over. Bob Arum was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1999. In 2003, he was inducted into the Southern California Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. Okay. Now, just like with Don King yesterday, he had a few controversies. Let's take a look at some of his controversies that he's been entwined in. Okay. Now, as a boxing promoter, Arum had been involved in many spats and controversies, including a 40-year feud with Don King, with whom he has co-promoted several fights. Okay. Now, UFC President Dana White has also been a vocal critic, and Bob Arum and Dana White have engaged in a protracted an acerbic public feud. Yeah, Dana White thinks of Bob Arum as a piece of shit. I've heard him call him that many times. Yeah, he does not like Bob Arum. In 2018, White briefly became a rival boxing promoter. That was around the Floyd Conor McGregor fight, right? Wasn't that 2018? Yeah, I believe it was. Now, in 1984, Arum was involved with John Daly for the High Noon in Hong Kong boxing event. The fights were called off at the last moment when Barry Hearn scuttled the belt by withdrawing his fighters when no purses were forthcoming from Top Rank. In 2000, citing extortion, Arum voluntarily testified to having paid IBF President Robert W. Barbie Lee Sr. $100,000 in 2 installments in 1995 as the first half of a $200,000 bribe. So, through middleman Stanley Hoffman, adding that Lee had first demanded $500,000 to approve the Schultz-Foreman fight, but it settled for the lesser amount of $200,000, half of which was never paid. Yeah, Bob testified against him too. That was a mess. I think that was a WBO mess, I believe, yeah. Lee was indicted for racketeering in 1999, but convicted of money laundering and tax evasion in 2000. Following his testimony, Arum was sanctioned and fined $125,000 by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Boxing promoters Cedric Kushner and Dino Duva, who also admitted to making similar payments to Lee. Yeah, that was a mess. Okay. Oscar De La Hoya successfully sued Arum and was legally released from his contract with Top Rank in January 2001. Following years of acrimony, he and De La Hoya publicly salvaged their relationship. In 2003, Arum complained about judging in the September 13th bout between Oscar De La Hoya and Sugar Shane Mosley, and suggested there was a vendetta against him from a member of the Nevada State Commission that led to De La Hoya's loss. Arum later made an apology for the remark, which Commission Chairman Luther Mack accepted. Oh, wow. In the first week of January 2004, FBI agents raided Arum's Top Rank office in Las Vegas. Arum was on vacation when his office was raided, and the FBI originally declined to comment on the raid. The news media reported that the FBI was investigating allegations that Top Rank was involved in fixing the rematch between De La Hoya and Shane Mosley. Even though De La Hoya lost, and Arum was De La Hoya's promoter. The federal agency also announced it was investigating some of Eric S. fights, as well as the Jorge Paez Verdell Smith fight. The investigation closed in the summer of 2006 with no charges being filed. In 2007, Yahoo Sports reported that Floyd Mayweather Jr. essentially accused Arum, who promoted him from the beginning of his career in 1996 until 2006, of underpaying him, exploiting his talents, and manipulating officials. Mayweather, who also became a boxing promoter, stated to Yahoo Sports in 2015, "I don't have anything bad to say about Bob Arum." But you said enough with that statement. Arum filed a lawsuit against HBO for overstepping its boundaries in the sport by becoming a de facto promoter while trying to intentionally eliminate him as a promoter. Arum complained that HBO dropped Mayweather from his exclusive deal after he insisted his fighter have a tougher belt than the network wanted. The suit was settled out of court, but Arum continued to criticize HBO by saying, instead of working with promoters like they have done in the past, they have become promoters themselves. They make the fights just like promoters and pay fighters, Arum said. It's their money and they can do what they want, but Don King doesn't have to go along with it, and neither do I. King and I can get along without HBO or Showtime. The problem HBO Sports got into is they became defenders of the status quo. They held you back because they had control. In 2009, Arum defended Antonio Margarito when he lost his boxing license in the U.S. state of California on charges of illegal hand wrap. Yeah. Implied it was racially motivated and stated that Top Rank would not come back to the state of California until the issue was rectified. In 2009, Arum was accused of racism by Bass Dutton for calling UFC fans skinhead white guys. In 2020, Arum stated that one of the top boxers, Terrence Crawford, should also start promoting himself better. He compared his situation with several other greats in the sport. Arum stated he could have built a house in Beverly Hills with the money he lost on Crawford's last 3 fights. Crawford did not take this lightly, responding to numerous media outlets showing his disappointment towards Arum's comment. In January 2022, Crawford sued Arum for racial bias and for the money he lost by not being promoted well enough. So whatever happened to that suitcase? Anybody know? Is it still going on? Did they settle it out of court? I mean, they just stopped talking about it all of a sudden. Anybody know what happened with Terrence Crawford and Bob Arum's suitcase? I sure don't. Now, okay, Arum has been married twice. He had 3 children with his first wife, Richard, Elizabeth, and John. Okay, so he does have two real sons. Okay. His son, environmental lawyer John Arum, fell to his death in 2010 while climbing the north face of Storm King, a mountain in North Carolina National Park. He is most remembered for his meticulous representation of Native American tribal rights. Now, Crawford dropped it. Okay, thank you, BN Boxing News. Crawford dropped it. I did not know that. Wow, okay. In 1991, he married Lovey DuBois, with whom he has 2 stepchildren. Todd DuBois, okay, that's the one, Al Booger. Todd DuBois, president of Top Rank. And Dina DuBois, vice president of Top Rank. So none of his biological children have anything to do with Top Rank, but his 2 stepchildren are president and vice president. Okay. Because he had 3 biological children, two sons. One of his sons died in an accident, mountain climbing accident. Okay. His 2 stepsons are affiliated with Top Rank. Okay. But he might outlive them, so, you know, the way Bob going. Dude. Arum was a close friend and business partner of the late billionaire casino tycoon and CEO of Las Vegas Sands Corp, Sheldon Adelson. Okay. Arum endorsed Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton in the run-up to the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Didn't help her out none. She got Donald Trump beat her ass. Oh, Hillary. Okay. And Bob Arum is involved. He's a cannabis advocate. Yep. Now, Bob Arum appeared as a corrupt DEA agent in the 1975 movie Stokes, okay, the marijuana affair. At the behest of his friend, Jamaican-born boxing promoter and filmmaker, bookie, and horse racing aficionado, Lucien Chen. And he has advocated for the decriminalization of cannabis, and in a 2017 interview stated that he had started smoking it in 1966. So Bob started smoking marijuana in 1966, declaring, "Cannabis is good for you. It's these damn people during the Nixon administration that really put cannabis into the position where it was a drug like heroin and cocaine. And that was wrong." And adding that, in a lot of ways, marijuana is better for the athletes as pain medication than the drugs. Okay. So it must have been okay with Keyshawn doing it. Yeah. All right. The Bob father. In a 2017 Vice interview, Arum was quoted as saying, "I think the NFL is going to revise its policy on marijuana, and I think everybody should. It was the Nixon administration that demonized marijuana to the real harm of a lot of people, particularly people who have terminal cancer. Marijuana can be a very therapeutic drug." All right. So Bob is a cannabis advocate. The Bob father. That's probably why he lived so long. Know that? Yeah. Took the words. I was thinking the same thing as he was writing it out, booger. Shit, I might just start smoking that shit when I retire. Yeah. We have to take no more tests or nothing. Shit. Yeah. I just start smoking that shit. My wife already do. Okay. So got Bob to 92. Now, he also has had a little career in film and television. He's appeared on several television documentaries, boxing specials, movies, and shows, usually being interviewed about a boxer or fight, but occasionally as an actor himself, including in Play It to the Bone. He played a boxing fan. Okay. Wow. And there you have it. The Bob father, Bob Arum, boxing promoter, attorney, and cannabis advocate. Okay? Now, I don't know who I'm going to do tomorrow then, but it's going to be somebody good. I was thinking about referee Richard Steele, but then I said, nah. He was a referee and a commissioner. He used to be the president of the New Jersey State Boxing Commission. I don't know, he still might be. I know he was a cheating ass referee. He stopped that. Well, Al Booker disagreed with me. He stopped that he should have stopped it. He stopped that Melvin Taylor against Julio Cesar Chavez with 2 seconds left. Melvin Taylor should have gave Julio Cesar Chavez his first loss. There's Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT in the building. Salute Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT. Al Booker disagreed with me. He said he should have stopped. But I say, how much more damage can you do to the man in 2 seconds? You ain't stopped the fight by 2 seconds left. Just let the 2 seconds go. 1001, 1002. The fight over. How much more damage? If you done some damage to me, it had already happened. So whatever, he was paid off, man. But then he just like Tony Weeks don't know how to cheat. You're gonna wait till 2 seconds left and stop the fight. Wasn't that you that disagreed with me, Al Booker? It was somebody. I thought it was you. might have been you. I'm sorry. Somebody in the chat was like, yeah, I can't remember who it was. It was somebody. Oh, no. It was 2 seconds, Al Booker. Yeah, but I don't know. I just couldn't understand that. I mean, 2 seconds, what more damage can the man do to me? You know, you might as well just let the thing run out. Now, 8 seconds here stopped it. I can understand it a little bit because you could do some damage in 8 seconds. But 2, the damage is done and something done. And the man didn't get no adverse effects or nothing from the fight. So he shouldn't have stopped. He cheated, man. He was paid off. Just like Tony Weeks in that first Rolly fight. He was paid off. Oh, yeah, well, okay. I thought it was. I thought it was Al Booker. Okay, I take that I'm sorry back. It was Al Booker. Yeah. We're going to take a look at, what are we at? Junior flyweight, 108. And I think it goes all the way down to 102, don't it? Straw weight is 105. I think 102 is minimum weight or something. Like I say, no grown man should weigh no 105 pounds. I'm sorry, man. I think I weighed 105, but what, in the second grade or something? Man. But somebody got to be the jockeys, you know, right? So there's use for men weighing 105. Jockeys. Fight at straw weight. We're going to take a look at flyweight today. Excuse me, junior flyweight. Where's my phone? Oh, there it is. Come here, phone. Yeah, junior flyweight today. I thought it was you, Al Booker. Al Booker said, that's boxing. I'm still mad about the Sugar Ray and Marvelous Marvin. He said, yeah. And Marvin stopped boxing and never came back after that fight. But you see the story I told about it after when I pre-profiled Marvin the other day, Al Booker? I'm going to tell it again. Now, after the fight ended, Hagler wanted the rematch, right? But Sugar Ray retired. So Hagler stayed around for 14 months active, trying to get that rematch. Sugar Ray wouldn't give it to him. So after 14 months, Hagler gave up and retired. Guess what? A month later, Sugar Ray came back to boxing. Sugar Ray, no, he didn't want to get back in there with Hagler. He waited him out. As soon as Hagler retired, Sugar Ray came back. Yeah. Yeah, I thought Hagler won that one too. But you know what? Now, Sugar Ray won 2 out of 3 judges. Now, there was one judge. You know how each side can, no, we don't want that judge. Hagler's side decided against one of the judges, and after watching it on TV, he gave the fight to Hagler. So they should have picked that judge. There might have been another one for Hagler. See? The judge that they was against watched the fight on TV and gave it to Hagler. There's Coach Thomas Morris in the building. What's up, Coach Thomas? Oh, yeah, Thomas is for Sugar Ray, too. Yeah, that's right. He said, Ray clearly outboxed Hagler. Y'all got to get over that. Yeah, well, no. That's one of them that's always going to be argued about, Coach Thomas. Like, Devin and Loma is going to be like that. Not as famous as Sugar Ray and Hagler, but, you know, one of them ones that's always going to be argued about, you know. People just believe what they believe, but I ain't mad. It was one of those kind of fights that you was going to disagree and argue about it, but you can't be mad. Either way it went now. They both did enough to win. I'll say that. So Sugar Ray got it. He deserved it. He got it. Now, if Hagler would have won, the argument would be the other way, but Hagler would have done enough. But, you know, it's one of those fights, and I'll just say Hagler because Hagler came in as the champion, you know. And it was that type of fight, man, where you just got to give it back to the champion. I don't think Sugar Ray did enough to take that man's title from him. But Hagler retired and never came back. I think Sugar Ray should have gave him the rematch, you know. But he retired. And then he waited until Hagler retired. Then a month later, he came back. So he showed clearly he didn't want to give him the rematch. And Hagler said before the decision, when they met in the middle of the ring to congratulate each other, he said Sugar Ray said to him, "You beat me." Now, I don't believe that. Why would he say that, man? A close fight like that before the decision? No, I don't think Sugar Ray said that. No, I don't think so. Thomas Morris says, Hagler wasn't Hagler no more when he fought Ray. Fights with Hearns and Mugabe back to back took something out of him. Yes, I agree. 100% did, man. Yeah, especially Mugabe. And then Hearns was only three rounds, but that was a fight, man. You know, he took 15-round punishment in 3 rounds. And you know, that had to be a hell of a fight. Anytime a 3-round fight wins fight of the year, come on, man. Him and Hearns was 3 rounds and won fight of the year. Yeah, that's crazy, ain't it? Yes. But that's a good point, Thomas Morris. Hearns and Mugabe back to back took a lot out of Hagler. Even I forgot who it was. One of the commentators, real good commentator from back then, I think it was Ferdy Pacheco, said, I forget which fight it was, but he said Hagler was slowing down, you know, not moving as much as he did. He was starting to, you know, be more flat-footed in fights, you know, starting to stand there and slug it out more. Not the Hagler that moved, you know, like he used to do when he was younger. I think it was Ferdy Pacheco. Yeah, young Hagler would have. Yeah, probably would have got him out of there. And how many years was it? I think, when was him and Hearns? I think it was like 3 years in between. No, about 4 years between Hagler Sugar Ray and Hagler Hearns. You know, Thomas, I can't say for sure how many years were between those 2 fights. But let me do this. I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna do this real quick. The junior flyweight, and then we're gonna have like 30 minutes to chop it up. Junior flyweight, I think. Yeah, junior flyweight today. But yeah, that is a great point, Thomas, about the Hearns Mugabe fights back to back. Yeah, those were 2 tough fights. Like I say, Hearns was 15 rounds worth of punishment in 3 rounds. Them 2. I bet you'll never see a 3-round fight win fight of the year again, before or after that, man. Unbelievable. First round was round of the year. Unbelievable, man. Just unbelievable. Yeah, he could. He definitely could. He definitely could. He wasn't as mobile by the time he fought Sugar Ray, though, Thomas, like he was earlier. No. Like you were saying, a young Hagler, what he would have did to Sugar Ray. Yeah. I'm on junior featherweight, man. Junior flyweight, come on. You're 100% right. You are 100% right. But it's one of those fights that's going to be debated about forever, you know. Especially as long as there's people still living that was actually around at that time, you know, and saw it. And then hardcore boxing fans like yourself that's watched it, you know, and appreciate boxing like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it the night it happened. I wasn't there, but I saw it. I saw it on closed circuit TV. That's when you go to the places and they show it, you know, on the big screens in different places like basketball arenas, you know, little auditoriums and movie theaters, stuff like that. They would charge a fee, and you go in and watch the fight. Yeah. It's called junior flyweight, light flyweight, super strawweight, Come on, man. Come on, I can't find it. I know I should have written it down earlier. Bear with me for one moment, please. Thank you very much. We're looking for junior flyweight, right? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Got it. All right. It's called junior flyweight or super minimum weight, or you know. Okay, the weight limit is 108 pounds. Okay. And when New York legalized boxing in 1920, the law stipulated a junior flyweight class with a weight limit of 99 pounds. And when the National Boxing Association was formed, which was the predecessor to the WBA, it changed to WBA in 1962. But when the NBA was formed, it also recognized this weight class. However, in 1922, the NBA decided to withdraw recognition of the junior flyweight division. And then in 1929, the New York State Athletic Commission also abolished the junior flyweight class. Okay, and no champion had been crowned in this division prior to its abolition. They had never had a champion. Now, the WBC decided to resurrect the division in the 1970s. The first champion in this division was Franco Udella, who won the WBC title in 1975. The WBC also crowned its first, the WBA, also crowned its first champion in 1975 when Jaime Rios defeated Rigoberto Marcano via 15-round decision. The first IBF champion was Dodie Boy Penalosa. Oh, Dodie Boy, who won the belt in 1983. Never heard of him. But Dodie Boy won it in 1983. So thank you, Al Booger. Thank you very much. Oh, excuse me, Remo. Thank you, Remo. Okay, the first light flyweight super fight took place on March 13th, 1993, when Michael Carbajal, the IBF champion, knocked out WBC champion Humberto Gonzalez. Saw that too. To unify the championship. Their rematch on February 19th, 1994 was the first time a light flyweight fighter, Carbajal, made $1 million purse. Okay. Current world champions in the division are as follows. WBA is Kenshiro Teraji. Well, here's the WBA and the WBC, okay. IBF champion is Adrian Curiel. WBO, Jonathan Gonzalez. Okay. Here are the current rankings. Ring Magazine again. I think these Ring Magazine rankings are fire, man. To all the weight classes. They are fire. In spite of Arthur De La Hoya owning Ring Magazine. Inspiring your feature on Jack Johnson on his fashion. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that was good too. Yeah, everybody check out hashtag Let's Talk Fashion yesterday from Remo. Fire episode, man. Dropping every Wednesday at 10:30 until he start going live eventually. We're gonna talk him into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, these rankings as of January 11th, 2024. Wow, that's very recent. What's today? The 18th? Yeah, that was last Thursday, a week ago. Okay. Because you know that each sanctioning body, Ring Magazine, Box Rec, they all put out their rankings at different times. So Ring must put theirs out like the second week of the month, I guess. I always thought it was the end of the month, not Ring. Yeah, as of January 11th. Because they all put them out like once a month at different times of the month. Okay. But here are the current rankings at junior flyweight, 108. The champion for Ring Magazine is Kenshiro Taraji, who also holds the, what does he hold? WBC and IBF, okay. At number 1 ranked is Jonathan Gonzalez. He has the WBO. Ranked number 2 is Adrian Curiel, holder of the IBF belt. At number 3, Peggy Butler. Number 4, Alwin Soto. Number 5, Nort Shinga. And I leave it at that. Nort Shinga. That's his last name. Because you know these lower weight classes, I know I do some butchering down here. Number 6, Masamichi Yabuki. Sounds right. Number 7, Carlos Canizales. Number 8, Daniel Matillan. At number 9, Miel Fajardo. And at number 10, Shokichi Iwata. There you have it. Light flyweight. I think 105, I think it's strawweight. I'm gonna check it out. Then I think it's a minimum weight at 102. I'll put the link in there. Okay. So if anyone wants to chop it up this last half hour, we got about 35 minutes. We can chop it up. Okay. All right. Bear with me for a second. Since Jay Hardcore told me this other way to do the link, I've been getting it right. Drop it right in. From the phone, I was trying to do everything from the laptop. But he advised me, just use the laptop just to, for the actual streaming. The little stuff like the link and everything, use your phone. And it's much easier. Thank you, Jay Hardcore. Yeah. He's probably resting. Or still on the way spinning the block. He spins the block, comes back at 8 at night, so he probably spin it. Nah, should be about halfway around. I gotta download some music too. I don't know how though. But I'll get it. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody rocking with me. I'm starting to enjoy y'all's company every day at 2 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? I just hope I make everybody's day just a little bit better. For being here with Cat Sports, the History Channel. Here comes the link. Bet the farm on it. There it is. The laptop moves much slower than the phone. That's crazy. Both of them sitting right here in front of me, but I see stuff on one and it's not even on the other one yet. It's crazy. That's why Jay said use your phone. If somebody will say something in the chat and I'm looking at the laptop and like 10 more comments go by, it's already on the phone before it show on the laptop. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that was a pretty good conversation we was having about Hagler and Sugar Ray. Like I was telling Coach Thomas, that will go on forever, man. Forever. Because I'm always going to think Hagler won. And Coach Thomas is always going to say Sugar Ray won. And we both think we're right. But Sugar Ray got his hand raised and I ain't mad because it was that kind of fight, man. It was that kind of fight. Very good fight. Just think of the debates around the time it happened, man. I went to work. It was one of those fights. And it was a fight that casual was attracted to. Because I went to work the next day back then and people had never even talked about boxing was talking about that fight, man. At work. And I didn't know you liked boxing. Oh, I said, what you think about Hagler and Hearns? Oh, who is Hearns? But they knew Sugar Ray and Hagler, but didn't know Hearns, It was just one of those kind of fights, right? Everybody was talking about it, And we still are. And that's how that fight is going to always be, That's how it's going to always be. Yeah. And then we had Hagler Duran, Hearns Duran, Sugar Ray Duran. Sugar Ray actually had the most 4 Kings fights, okay? I think he had 6. He had 2 against Duran, 3 against Duran, 2 against Hearns, and 1 against Hagler. He had 6 Four Kings fights. I think Hagler had the less. Hagler just fought everybody once. 3. The rest of them fought one other Four King at least twice. See, Duran fought Sugar Ray 3 times, Hearns once, Hagler once. He had 5 Four Kings fights. Hearns had 4. He fought Duran once, he fought Hagler once, and he fought Sugar Ray twice. So Hagler had the least. Sugar Ray had the most. Sugar Ray had 6 Four Kings fights. Duran had 5. Hearns had 4. And Hagler had 3. Okay. And that's why Wilfredo Benitez was a great fighter, man. But he just fought in that era where he just so underrated, man, because he was overshadowed by the Four Kings so much in his career, man. You know, that Benitez, as good as he was back then, you didn't hear that much about him, man. Whereas in another era, he would have been up there talking about it like pound for pound, man, you know? But in that era he fought in with the Four Kings, Aaron Pryor, another one, man, overshadowed by the Four Kings. Because the talk of the town was Leonard, Hearns, Hagler, Duran. Look how they talk about him now. You can imagine then, at the time it was happening. You know what I mean? There's another one for Sugar Ray, Lonnie Lee. Lonnie Lee says Sugar Ray won. Okay. That kind of fight, though, man. I'm gonna watch that again tonight. I just watched it the day before I did the Hagler profile. Wasn't that last week or the week before? I can't remember. But I know I watched it the day before that. But I'm gonna tell you another fight from that era for y'all to watch. Okay. Salvador Sanchez versus Wilfredo Gomez. Classic Mexican against Puerto Rican, man. Write it down. Salvador Sanchez versus Wilfredo Gomez. I'm not going to tell you who won. Gomez went down in the first round, and the commentators was Larry Holmes and another old fighter, and they just knew it was over. He got Gomez, it's over. Gomez came back, man. But I'm not going to tell you who won, but that was a good fight. Puerto Rican versus Mexican. And both of those were #1 fighters on my top. Puerto Rican top 10 Puerto Rican was Wilfredo Gomez. My top 10 Mexican fighter last week was Salvador Sanchez. Benitez beat Duran. Yeah, he did, Thomas. He did beat Duran. Yes, he did. Duran, yeah, was the only, and another thing, Duran was the only Four King that lost to all the other Four Kings. The rest of them had wins and losses in that series. Well, Duran had a win too because he beat Sugar Ray the first time. He was the only one that got beat by the other 3. All 3 of them. Like Hearns never lost to Duran. Hagler didn't lose to Hearns or Duran. Sugar Ray didn't lose to Hearns or Hagler. Now, Sugar Ray lost. I thought he lost that second fight to Hearns, but they gave it to no, they called it a draw. They called it a draw, right? I think I'm gonna do something on the Four Kings here. What's up, Remo?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's happening? Not too much. It's slow motion. Talking this boxing.
Can't wait to jump on, man. It's been a little while, so I figured I'd tap in with you, you know?
Okay. Talk to me. What's on your mind today?
Nothing much, man. Just, you know, be thankful for the community, what they've been, you know, showing some support.
Yeah.
Having fun with it, you know.
Yeah, no
question. I'm here learning. I'm stealing some of your ideas and shit, you know.
Hey, they are our ideas, man. Like I told Jay this morning or last night, anything I say is JBT material, man. Okay.
Listen, man, we've been getting some good traction because I was the one who said I was listening to KQKC. He was like, man, I've been seeing that JBT. You. He said, I've been seeing that JBT. You know, KQ crazy, right? So I've been seeing that thing lately, man. I like that. I like that. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool, you know.
Yeah, because I mentioned that I knew it was. I couldn't remember who it was, but that was this morning, right, in the chat.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was you that said that. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So you got any ideas about your show next week yet? What it's gonna be around or anything? How you gonna tie it up together?
Well, next week episode is about sneakers, about the evolution of sneakers.
Yeah.
And how I got a new segment coming in following that. It's gonna be called shopping. What is it? Fashion or clashing? It's gonna be fashion or clashing. That's the new segment. So basically, it's a way to get people to engage about the fits that I display on the screen, if it's for them.
Yeah.
Just to get them talking in the comments,
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
That's where, and I'm also gonna be find some time to sit down with Jay and have the versus the now versus the then type of fashion.
With
Jay. So we're gonna sit down and do that. I got a couple ideas, man. Definitely got a couple ideas. That was a good one.
I heard you and him talking about that in the chat. That was a good one there, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get that off. Jay be on this fly stuff, so we're gonna sit down and figure that out,
Okay. That's cool.
But I would like to say something on this on these topics with all these in between weights. I think they should get rid of these shits, man.
I do too.
It's too many between 105 and 107.
I know.
It's too close in between, like, you know what I mean? And I think if you get rid of someone, what do they call it? Junior weights?
Yeah, they call them tweener divisions.
Yeah, those
junior, super, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would alleviate a lot of the weight bullying.
Yes, it would.
And the over rehydrations, and like a lot of that would be eliminated, because Devin would have a choice but to go to 47. Just using Devin as an example,
You're 100% right.
If you're going to be at 35 or whatever it might be, there's no in between that. It's 35.
Exactly.
47.
If you can't make 35, you got to go to 47. Ain't no 140.
Yeah, I think it'll be
all that weight bullying, like you said. Yep. Good point. Great point. And that's what they did. Like they created those tweener divisions in the 20s, and like the mid 20s, they just got rid of them. They didn't really come back till almost like the 70s.
Because of greed.
Before they start bringing them back, they got rid of them. Probably for that reason.
That's because of money. They can get more money by having more belt holders in between weights.
Yep.
So now you got people paying sanctioning fees for interim belts. So you got interim, you got main contenders, you got title holders, and then you have in between weights all getting money, man. This is nonsense.
That's the whole thing, man. Money. Because, when I did that show on the weight classes, like, there's 17 weight classes. And at that time, it was like 80-something men's champions and over 60 women's champions, man.
Yeah, that's disgusting, man.
Between regular, interim, and all that, yep. Because, when you have like a champion, somebody get injured, and then they go to champion in recess, right? And then like perfect example, when now Fran Chon has the WBC belt, she beats Shadeja Green, right? Now Savannah is a champion in recess. So when they fight, I think both of them they collect sanctioning fees from both of them, right? Because they're both champions.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Like when an interim champion fight a super champion, they both have to pay sanctioning fees on the belts. That's ridiculous, ain't it?
A lot of boxing in itself doesn't make sense. Even that's why it's so hard for like a casual to follow boxing.
Yeah.
That's the problem. None of the rules coincide with any of the other rules of any other sport.
It's a turnoff. Yeah.
Because I've never heard a champion in recess in any other sport. If you got stripped because of your weight, whether you're using PEDs or you're unable to fight, like you would probably get granted the first opportunity back, but you're not called a champion in recess. You're no longer the champion. Yeah, that's
right. It's about the money.
Yeah, but
they keep that word champion in there so they can collect some money from you. That's all it is.
I'd call that disingenuous. That's all it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Like, you know, you just and then it's the kids that don't get the opportunities, and then it's people who get paid to step aside money. If you
I know.
if you get paid to step aside, and you were
Mhm.
next up, you should be
Yeah.
dropped to third.
That's
The
right.
first person should be able to fight the first, and now the second and the third fight for the opportunity at the winner of the first and the champion. That's how it
Yeah.
should go.
Once you stepped aside, you stepped aside. Get out the way. You're done. You know. But they have it where once you step aside, you still keep your position. You know.
Yeah. I don't think that should be that, because
That shouldn't be it.
that's how Oscar De La Hoya's fighters been living. They've been living off of step aside money for
I know.
years.
I know. 4 years, man. It's crazy.
And
I think they get ready.
they still top 5, top 4,
Yeah.
top 3.
They keep their position. Like Barroso, I think they're going to try to give him step aside because, you know, he next in line for Rolly. And like you're saying, if he won that title eliminated, so he's number 1. And if he takes step aside, he stays number 1, which, like you saying, is not right. Once you take step aside, you lose your position. You should go down.
Listen, to be honest with you, if the way things are set up as they are, it's smart for Barroso to do that. One, they're not gonna let him walk away with a belt unless he knocks somebody out.
They're not gonna do it.
He's old, so any fight that he loses to a young guy who should be beating him, I don't know why he keeps sparking out these young guys.
Yeah.
but any fight that he does lose, it pretty much puts him into retirement.
That's it for him. Yeah.
Because he's too old to be a gatekeeper, because that's what he's being used for now.
Right.
But he keeps upsetting the 8 ball, you know?
He's winning. Yeah.
Yeah. So now if he took some step aside money for Ryan to fight Rolly, which would be a good purse for Rolly, he could get paid substantially better than actually fighting.
Yeah. That's true.
And then that next fight is who he could actually beat, either or. Because if he touched Ryan Chin, he could damn near knock Ryan out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And they're not going to put him in there with Rolly because they know he can beat Rolly. They're not going to dare let that man fight Rolly again, because that'll upset the apple cart, you know.
If
the
he,
money
if
fight.
He next,
Ryan and
if
Rolly.
he next though, they ain't got no choice. So I would take.
They're going to give him
if I'm him.
Yeah,
I'm him.
that's what they're going to do. They're going to make him a step aside offer he can't refuse. That's what they're going to do, you know.
Yeah.
They're not letting that man nowhere near Rolly. I know they not.
You know what would be a good fight for him?
Who's that?
I would like to see him, Arnold Barbosa.
Oh, yeah. Right.
That would be,
because they were both on that card, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Barroso is with Oscar, right? Then, right?
No. Old man? No. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
Who is
signed
he with?
to anything. I don't think he's signed to any particular.
Oh, so he was just on that Golden Boy card. Because Rolly was like Floyd and them, right?
Hold on,
Al Heyman and all them.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, I think Rolly was with Floyd. So Barroso, he's not really signed to anybody, because he's been on a couple of different companies. But yeah, they're not going to let Barroso anywhere near Rolly.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now who's rolling with Floyd, right?
I think unofficially he's with Floyd.
Okay.
I think they have like an agreement, but he's not signed. I think he's
signed
under Al.
Okay,
just like Barroso, I guess he's just a free agent because he fought on the zone, and then he fought Rolly on PBC. So he's just going where the money's calling.
That's the best way to be, to tell you the truth, though. You know.
Yeah. Yes and no. Because somebody like him, he has no guaranteed to look forward to.
That's true.
At his age, you know, you don't have like a lock in for, you know, like a ways to make money.
Yeah.
You're not locked in where you can't not take a fight due to, you know, political reasons, but he's not in a position to be in a political situation. So for him it's decent. But like somebody like, matter of fact, a lot of the old people I won't say old people, older statesmen.
Older fighters, yeah.
Yeah, in boxing, it don't benefit them being in long-term situations. Because
Nah.
like Keith.
Yeah, Keith Thurman.
He kind of is in a position where he's a PBC fighter, and if he loses like Sean Porter on another network, that's the end of the road, really.
That's it. One loss. That one loss. That's why he's trying to get paid for his next fight, because he knows that it'll probably be his last one.
And he outsmarted his damn self. That's what he did.
What do you mean?
He said he wanted to sit out, and I'm not fighting nobody. I'm not fighting this name. I'm not fighting that name. And the guy he beat, which is Barrios, is more solidified in the division that he once was the king of.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
So
and Barrios is developing a pretty good resume too.
And that's what I'm saying. All of that posturing and positioning, and I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. They came to kick him in his ass now. Now he's been on the bench. He's been on the bench since the Barrios fight. Came
back to haunt him, and he only had like one fight in like 4 years or something. Keith.
Yeah, something like
it's
that.
It's been a minute since he fought Manny. Barrios was his only fight, right?
Yeah, in between injuries, age, and ring rust. That ain't good for,
No.
And then
at his age?
His stubbornness to not want to go up and wait as well, because 154 actually was a division that, before it really started getting booming, it was kind of wide open, because
yes, it was.
Danny went up there, and then Cat started going up there now. So it's like, all right, so now you got Tim Tszyu. Thurman versus Tim Tszyu would have been crazy. He'd have got Tim Tszyu early.
Yeah. He should have went up there sooner. Look who's here. Ed McQueen.
Oh, we got a
Ed McQueen. We got a stranger in the building. What's up, Ed?
Yeah, that's exactly me.
I haven't seen you in a minute. Okay. All right. What's happening?
What's going on, Ant?
Chilling, man.
Okay. Yeah. What you think about the subjects?
Think about the what now?
The what we were talking about? Sugar Ray and Hagler and the old man, Barroso, Keith.
Barroso, I caught a little bit of what you guys were saying about the whole step aside thing. I think it's circumstantial. Because you got in some instances where it makes sense for guys to step aside for the greater good. It may not be for their own benefit, because they're losing an opportunity to put their talents on display, but in terms of what the people actually want to see. Like, we know that on paper, Ryan and Rolly is a bigger fight than Rolly and Barroso is.
Barroso, yeah, that is a good point. Step aside for the greater good.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying that, and I'm being facetious. I'm using air quotes because we know what the deal is.
Has he ever been a champion?
What's
Barroso? Has he ever had a belt? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
I can't recall. I don't think so. I don't think he has. I don't think he's a champion. But again, none of that matters, because it's all about what the promoters want. You see that O'Hara Davies, he was a fresh signing over there at Golden Boy, so they were promoting him as the next step at 140 under the Golden Boy banner, and Barroso in one night dispelled that.
Didn't even take him around.
That
didn't work out too good.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Yo, Ant, what you think about the people that that Golden Boy kind of declare as the next ones up, like the ones that they really want to reach their arms around?
It's tough to say with a lot of those Golden Boy guys, because for my personal preference, I think that they move them a bit too cautiously, and it's difficult to tell how good those guys really are. I don't feel like they move them appropriately. like Jaime Munguia, for example. He's been over there at Golden Boy, and he's been at 160, didn't fight, much of anybody of note. Fought Derevyanchenko. Damn, they got his ass whooped.
He took a couple step asides too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he hadn't really fought anybody of note. And then they talk about him at 168 potentially fighting Canelo. I don't see that ending well for him. We saw it with Zurdo. Zurdo, the moment he got in there with Bivol, he looked like he didn't belong in there. But prior to that, they built
that's
up
the big
this
deal,
lofty
right?
record.
And he was
They padded up his. That's the thing with them. They pad their records, but not necessarily their resumes. Because a resume is different from your record. Your resume is about who you fought. Your record is just about the number of fights that you've had and the results. Not necessarily like, who you fought, like the quality and caliber of fighters that you've been matched up with. And I think that's what makes it very difficult for Golden Boy. It's the way they move their guys. They move them a little too cautiously, in my personal opinion. It's like you want to give them the appropriate amount of resistance from where they are in their respective careers. Like you don't want to match them too tough, but you don't want every single fight to be inconsequential either.
I think that's a result of them trying to bleed the animal and get as much blood as they could out of it. Because the minute that they put them in with somebody tough and they fold, you kind of know what your talent that you're looking at. Because Oscar and Bernard, they ain't no fools. They're boxing savants, so they know they knew that Ryan's talent alone was inferior to Tank's.
Yeah,
as far as
they knew
skills. But you know what I'm saying? They didn't even really talk it up to the point where it's like afterwards that Ryan wasn't on that level. He's not at the Tank level, but Tank is at an elite level. But that in between, Ryan has enough guts, I think, to have a respectable career.
Yeah, that's why they disappeared after the fight.
But that's craziness to me because like they'll put their arms around certain fighters and be like, oh, this is the next person, this is the next guy. But these next guys, they don't even allow them to really fight nobody, and then they're not people that the crowd can attach to. To care
because they know it's not really the next guy. They know it. They already know.
That's kind of crazy, man. And then you got Top Rank.
See, but the thing is that these guys can be though. These guys can be.
Yeah,
but I think
if they move them right.
Move,
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
You move them appropriately. You move them appropriately. Like Coach Tommy says when he talks about frying the egg while the pan is hot. I think that Golden Boy, I feel like they have plenty of missed opportunities in that regard, where it's like they kind of move their guys just too slowly. You don't want to have a Marvis Frazier situation like they did with him, like back in the 80s. And Joe Frazier, he was a great champion himself, so he was a little bit too impatient.
Right.
I had him in there fighting
Holmes, wasn't
Larry Holmes in like his 10th fight. Then he had Mike Tyson in the succeeding fight. And he was just never the same after that.
Never the same.
And he was actually a solid fighter, Marvis Frazier. But it's like you moved him a little too fast.
Yeah.
See, my reason for the question, it would be because it seems like Golden Boy, they either give you really nothing to look forward to, or they're gonna throw you in the fire all the way. Right? So for Jaime, right? They would say they're gonna throw him in with Canelo. You're gonna throw him in the lion's mouth, basically. He's not ready for that. He's not there.
No.
Like even like Virgil right now. Virgil's at what, 54 now?
Yep, 54.
I would posture him. Well, I really can't do that yet, but because we didn't really get a chance to see him with rounds. But I would be looking at the Lubins and the Fondoras and the people in his wheelhouse. That's not the top names, but respectable wins. Be like, all right, you know what? I could see him saying, "Give me a title fight against somebody else," like what's his name? The guy in Australia,
Zoo.
Tim Zoo.
Yeah.
Because Charlotte still got all the other belts, right?
I think so.
If he hasn't relinquished them, I know one of them he was stripped of.
Yeah,
I know one of them he was stripped of for sure. See, with the Jaime Munguia thing, and this is why I say I feel like they move those guys a little bit too cautiously. Jaime Munguia has like 40 professional fights under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not ready to fight a top guy now, then he'll never be ready. After 40
Never
fights?
be. Yeah.
After 40 fights and you still not ready, or people have reservations about your readiness, then your ass ain't never gonna be ready. If you 40 fights in your career, like you just, you know what I mean?
That's
like what are we doing here?
That's like people arguing for Boots. Boots said he ready, and then a lot of like the analysts were, oh, you know, he hasn't fought anybody. Give him opportunity. 31 fights in.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if he ain't ready now, he ain't never gonna be ready.
He ain't gonna be ready. Nope.
You know, I think what's the problem with the whole sport is everybody so focused on the pay-per-view model rather than being a fighter that people attach to, and they're gonna go wherever you go. If you happen to end up on pay-per-view because it's a big fight, all right. But like the other day, they had a great fight in Canada, in Quebec. Nobody really goes to Quebec at that. But they had a great fight. The turnout was good, and it was right after basketball, primetime TV.
Yep, and the peak viewership was like 691,000 viewers. I mean, that was the consistent. The peak was close to 800,000. So you had damn near 1 million people watching that.
Yeah.
Like, and you got the playoffs, you got the NFL playoffs going on, all that stuff, because it was games on Saturday too.
Yep.
So
and you know how it ended? It was a good look for boxing because he knocked his ass out.
Yep. And then that other fight, that Billy fight and Murdoch was entertaining. Well, it was one-sided, but there was a lot of action.
It was entertaining though, yeah.
It was entertaining though, but that's exactly how you do it though. They got to get back to that, just giving people fights.
I know. Yeah. That's get off of that business side so much,
Well, that's the thing, though. It's like they forgot about the business, right? When you look at every other business, they give you options. They give you options. Like, look at the gaming industry, for example. They have the standard edition, then they got the deluxe edition, then they got the deluxe edition.
Platinum
comes with like a poster and memorabilia and all the stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you just want the base model, you can get that. Even with StreamYard, if you sign up for StreamYard, you get the basic one, but you only get like 20 hours a month. If you want more than that, and you want to have multiple people, you want to have more than 6 people you can have on your panel, you pay the $25. If you want the next level one, then you go up to the what is it? $50 a month or what have you. That's what we gotta have for boxing. With boxing is they just want us to just go straight to the premium and forget about the base model. The base model is give us good fights, keep us appeased, keep us entertained, and then when you say, "Oh, this is the pay-per-view fight," then we're like, "Damn, this must be special." But if everything is a pay-per-view, then what's special at that point?
You know what I think with the pay-per-view model with boxers itself versus the promoters doing the wrong thing. I wouldn't mind paying for a Devin fight if you stack out the card. Yeah. But if you're going to give me a bunch of meaningless shit underneath and then Devin is the main where it's going to be a 12-round fight going into it. Regardless of how pretty the boxing comes out or not, but the entertainment factor is what I'm paying for, my hard-earned money.
Yeah.
I want to be entertained throughout
the night. You're paying for the whole card, right? Yeah.
That's right. Don't give me a fight. Don't give me a fight where I don't know nobody on the undercard, and then I'm paying 12 rounds to watch a boxing fight. The casual's not gonna a piece of that. But if you give a good, like just like last week, if somebody ended up paying $20 to watch that, they would have been thoroughly entertained. Like, oh shit, like I didn't expect it. It was only $20. Fuck it. Like I got guests over. We watching all the games, and that's what came on. They wouldn't have been mad, not knowing none of the names alone. But don't anticipate that I'm gonna sell you this product. I don't get it. And then I just gave you $90 because after taxes and fees at $85 is like $92. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it comes out to be. Yeah.
But you know, in the UK, that's what their pay-per-view prices are. It's only like 25 pounds or something like that, which comes out to like $30-something US.
Wow, that ain't bad.
It's not bad at all. I wouldn't even mind paying that. But you talk about $90 every fight is like crazy.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not even so much a matter of the names on the undercard, but we understand why they do it with the pay-per-view model. It's to pay the guys that are at the top of the card. And they've gotten so accustomed to paying these guys whatever to try to please them. That's how we end up with these top-heavy cards. And then we're paying $90 for them.
Yep, they can't pay the other ones. Yeah.
Can't pay the other guys.
So, yeah. That's the thing. Yeah.
I actually had a thought on the payment for these fighters too. Like, you can't really wage how much they should be making based on what they do in the ring or whatever the case is. But the model should be investing in the youth, because the youth is not going to require that much. They're going to fight way more times. And you have a lot of youthful fighters that we don't know what the hell they're going to be. And don't let me find out 30, 35 fights in that you really a mice and not a wolf, you know?
Yeah.
Because you took all my money in 30 fights in, and then you're Chris Colbert to me, like, you know?
Right.
That's not fair to me as a consumer.
No.
You know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I checked out that De Los Santos versus Rayo fight the other day, right?
Okay, De Los Santos and Rayo. Yeah.
De Los Santos versus Tank kills him. Because if he finds himself in a firefight with somebody with good feet and that can get out of range and pop back in the range, because Rayo clipped his ass. But Rayo was so buzzed of initially trying to trade power punches with him. If he found himself trying to trade with Tank and Tank comes out with skillful power punches, I think that'd be a short night for
I'm gonna watch that.
For both of them, actually.
Hello.
What you think about that, Ant?
Get ready to get off of live in a minute. What you doing? Okay.
Yeah, that Rayo fight. Yeah. Personally, I felt like De Los Santos, to circumvent back to the Shakur fight, I felt like he should have.
I'll be down there around that time.
Should have displayed some of that.
Love you.
He should have did some of that. He should have did some of that. Like,
okay, I'm back.
Versus Tank. You said De Los Santos versus Tank.
Yeah.
De Los Santos versus Tank. Yeah, I got Tank winning that one.
Yeah,
I got Tank winning that one. And the reason being is it's just the technical thing, man. I feel as though he's yet to have a performance where he's had to put it all together. But if you watch all of his fights, he showed you a bit of everything. He showed you a bit of everything. Like in one fight, he showed more inside fighting. In another fight, he showed that he could control the other guy's lead hand, take the jab away. In another fight, showed footwork and more explosiveness. In another one, he fought a little bit more in the pocket. I think that De Los Santos, it could be an interesting fight. I think it can be, because the thing about De Los Santos is what would worry me is whether or not he would be a little bit too disciplined or a little bit too reckless, and whether or not he'd be able to find the perfect marriage between the two, between being assertive and being disciplined. Because in the Rayo fight, I felt like he was a little too reckless. Like there was like that one moment where he got counted over the top and when he got dropped, like he was a little too reckless in that moment. And in the Shakur fight, I felt like his discipline was very impressive, but I felt like he was just a little too disciplined in that fight, to where he didn't make things happen because he didn't want to make mistakes himself. So there were times where he probably should have looked to press the action, but he didn't. And with Tank, you got to know that he's got to know, and his team. Shout out to his coach Cello. He's a good coach, and they had a good game plan for Shakur. But yeah, you got to know that, you know, something's coming back from Tank. You know, there's a good chance that he could get tamed. You know, he could get tamed relatively early, like similar to what we just saw against with Berteviev and Callum Smith, because Callum Smith can punch, man.
Mm-hmm.
What's that guy's name that he knocked out last? He starched the guy with the right hand, and the guy was convulsing and all that. He got a strong right hand. He got a good left hook. But what's the name? Once he felt Arthur's power,
yeah,
he looked very non-committal. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't really throw anything with much conviction. And with De Los Santos, like, he's got speed, he's got power, but what happens if he gets one of them shots early on that Hector Luis Garcia got? Does he want to let his hands go at that point? And I don't think that he's defensively sound enough. I think he's got solid defensive skills, primarily because of his reflexes. But I don't know if he's that good defensively to where it's like he could avoid being mowed down eventually. And I think that's kind of like where the separation is for me between the two of them. It's just the acuity, the sharpness. Like, Tank is a very sharp guy, very aware of what's in front of him. You know what I'm saying? He knows what's in front of him, how he's gonna approach what guy, what to do with a specific guy, what not to do with a specific guy. You know, so yeah, I got Tank in that one.
Okay, fellas, we're gonna have to get ready to cut it.
Yeah.
I'm getting into Just Dudes time. But welcome back, Aunt McQueen.
Yeah, I've been in the cut, man. Reading books, watching documentaries and stuff. I got that tournament book, man. It's about the great trainers. They talk about like Freddie Brown and Ray Arcel.
Oh yeah.
And then I got this other book called what the hell is it called? Like Sports and Blood or whatever. It's a book about the corruption of boxing. And they talk about all of these like shady scandals and stuff that took place.
That's the one I need. You gonna bring back the casual corner? And
yeah, I am. But what I want to do with it is I want to have it be more multimedia as opposed to it just being like a film study thing, but also talk about just boxing across the span of media. Whether it be like documentaries, interviews, books.
Yeah. Okay.
You got your seatbelt on?
Maybe even get into like Ring Magazine and just do all that stuff and just have discussions about those sorts of things too.
That sounds good. You checked out
really
Remo's
people talk about literature and all that stuff.
No, you don't. Not at all. That's a good idea. That's different. Yeah, you checked out Remo Hex. Let's Talk Fashion yet?
Come on.
Yeah, I checked it out.
Okay. Pretty good.
You gotta throw up.
Okay. It's time to get into Just Do and
all right.
I appreciate you. Talk to you
likewise.
Yeah, but roll it up.
All right, everybody. Another episode of Cast Sports comes to an end. Time for Just Do Boxing. I ran into his time a little. So he's not going to kill me. But I appreciate everybody. Aunt McQueen, Thomas Morris, Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT, D for the win, BN Boxing News, Remo, hashtag JBT, Mike Rhyme, Mike Masick, Al Booger, and iBoxing News, iBoxing Hub, And appreciate Aunt McQueen and Remo coming up on the panel helping me out today. Appreciate everybody that continues to rock with my growing channel. This is Cast Sports. Everybody have a good day.